What's going on, y'all? It's the Kane and Ayden Pod, episode 11, back at you. This episode is just going to be me and Ayden. A little bit of backstory behind this episode is we pretty much record on the days that Ayden doesn't have work, which this week happened to be Monday and Wednesday. And we didn't have anything together as far as 9 p.m. last night. So we got this entire episode together at 9 p.m. and later last night. So Ayden,
Facts.
how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. I had a pretty long day at school. Only slept about 3 hours last night, so it's not really a good way to come into a whole entire day and a podcast. But you know what? Besides that, I'm feeling pretty good. Kane, how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, honestly. Been chilling recently. For those of you that don't know, Ayden basically does not sleep. I wouldn't say, except
I
for
don't.
at random times when he comes home from school on days he doesn't have
Yeah, I fall asleep for like 3 hours,
work.
and then
so,
or at our grandma's house. You know,
so Ayden, we're bringing back an old segment. You
an
want to
old segment. But this isn't just an old. This is the OG segment. If you remember this segment, then props to you. So we're bringing back our trivia time segment. So we've been doing this for like 2, 3 years.
hot minute, hot
It used to
minute?
be strictly just sports, like just only sports questions. Like, okay, like it was bad. I'd be like, who was the first hockey player to have 100 goals? Like, we had no idea. Really just throwing things together at the last minute. Like,
Facts.
questions that made no sense. Like, it got to the point where we would just put like random players' names. Like, we just make up, insert first name, last name, just because like we had no idea. But we're
Yeah.
bringing it back though this time, and this time it is going to be different. So we do 3 different questions, all with different themes. Our first theme was it has to be one sports question, one like Kane and Aiden kind of question, like about each other, or like about like me and him to time spent together. And last one's just like pop culture, which is like pop culture, but it really can be about anything to be honest. It's not like strictly one thing.
So we are still keeping the 30-second winner circle. So whoever wins gets 30 seconds to just talk about whatever they
Oh
want.
yeah, dude, I forgot about that. Oh my
I
gosh,
know
that's a
you'll
real
win.
OG. That's a real OG segment right there, dude. Even I forgot about that.
I'm excited. I'm hoping to get the first one because when we did the sports trivia, I did not do so high at all.
Facts, dude. I was like, 3-1 maybe. I
Yeah.
was pretty good.
Okay, so how do you want to order this as far as who goes first and what order we do the questions in?
We'll just go back and forth. I'll say you can go ahead and start. And that's like you mean like the like sports like throughout. We can kind of just go either way. It doesn't really matter.
We'll go sports, Canadian history, and then pop culture to finish us
That's
off.
exactly how I had my questions lined out, anyways.
I'll ask first, and then Aiden will ask. Okay, so are you
All
ready,
right.
sir, for your first ever question of the Canadian pod?
Facts, bro. So this is a new new show, new everything. So our record is 0-0 right now.
Zero.
No
Okay.
win, no L. I'm hoping to bring home the first W, but we'll see right here.
Which player has recorded the most career personal fouls?
Ooh,
A. Kareem, B. Shaq, C. Dennis Rodman, or D. Carl Malone?
ooh,
And I will say,
dang.
I'll say this before we start is, uh, unfortunately, I did not get numbers on this. I know the right answer, but I did not get numbers.
Okay. I'm gonna say Karl Malone.
Nope, Kareem.
Dang. I knew it wasn't Rodman because he didn't play long enough.
Yeah, no, I picked answer choices. All of my answer choices were like top on the list. Um,
Hmm.
Kareem, I think Kareem just because he played for so long, and he
Yeah,
was.
true. That's why I went for a guy like Karl Malone who played a long time. All right, you ready for your first question?
I think so.
Who was the first in? What team won the first ever NBA game?
I know. I'm pretty sure you asked this one on in freaking sports. Okay, go ahead.
I think I did, but you know what? It was so nice. I had to bring it back. Number one, Chicago Stags, Philadelphia Warriors, New York Knicks, or Toronto Huskies.
I think it was the. I know for a fact the Toronto Huskies played in that game,
Okay.
and I think it was them. So I'm gonna go with them.
Nope.
How
It
was it
was
the?
the New York Knicks.
Oh, it was the Knicks.
I was surprised too. I was like, what? That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Hmm.
All
I'm
right.
pretty sure my answer was right.
Facts. All right, you got to move on to your next question.
Kane and Aiden history. Aiden, who was the leading scorer in the Mavericks versus Rockets game we attended together on March 10th, 2019?
Dang.
Was it Clint Capella, James Harden, Eric Gordon, or Luka Doncic?
Eric Gordon.
Yep, 27.
Knew it. I knew
How did
it.
you
I
know
knew
that?
it.
I thought you wouldn't know that.
No, because I remember Harden played good. I remember Clint Capella had a good game, but not like that, good like on his standards.
I'm
Okay,
surprised.
this one is a little me based, so a little backstory.
Whoa.
No, it is, but like it's like an inside joke between us. So that's why I was saying,
Okay.
ow, I hit my finger.
Okay.
So me and Kane have an inside joke because I play a lot of 2K and I do like career sims on the most random players ever. The
Okay.
most random player I ever did was Wayne Ellington, so it's kind of an inside joke. So my question is, what player have I not done a career sim on? Starting off number one, we got Jeremy Grant, then we got Davis Bertans,
Okay.
Paolo Banchero, and Chris Clemens. So which player have I not done a career sim on?
I know for a fact you had to have done Chris Clemens because he was a Rocket. He was a random player. I know for a fact you had to have done that.
Okay, who
Uh,
else?
what was it? What was A?
Jeremy Grant.
I know you've done that. I think I remember you doing that recently.
Okay.
So it's between Paulo and Davis Bertans. I'm gonna go Paulo because he's new.
Nope. Chris
What?
Clemens. I have
You,
never done a Chris
you've
Clemens.
never done Chris Clemens? Oh,
Nope.
gosh, okay.
I was gonna put Wayne Ellington on here, but that'd be too obvious.
It all comes down to pop culture for me. We might actually have a tiebreaker. And I'll say this: we don't have any tiebreaker
We don't
questions.
have a tiebreaker.
We were
We
like,
were
if
chilling.
tiebreaker,
Like
we'll come up with it on the spot. So
we were like, there ain't gonna be a tiebreaker, and that was it. But I'm
okay,
ready.
Ayden, pop culture. Um, I can tell the backstory behind this question if you want me to after I finish asking.
All right, bet.
Which two albums has Taylor Swift re-recorded?
Ooh.
A. Speak Now and Reputation. B. Fearless and Red. C. Lover and Taylor Swift. Or D. Karma and Folklore.
Okay, so I think it's either C or D. So
Okay.
what was C again? What was C?
C is Lover and Taylor Swift.
And what was D?
D is Karma and Folklore.
I'm gonna say D.
Nope, it was Fearless and Red.
Is that what was that? B or C?
B.
Dang, dude. I know she did. Oh, I knew she did red. What's wrong with me? All
Yeah.
right, dude. This is coming out of here.
If
You
I get
ready?
tied up. Okay. Yeah.
What year was Disney made?
No. Freaking wait. Oh no, that's Disney World. Never mind. Okay, go ahead.
A 1919, B 1923, C 1925, or D 1920.
Okay, I gotta think about this because I know I think
5 seconds on the clock. Not playing.
I think Snow White was made in like the 20s. Give me the answer choices again.
1919, 1923, 1925, and 1920.
Too bad you didn't ask what year Disney World was founded because I know that exact answer. Um, Give me the answers one more time.
1919, 1923, 1925, and 1920.
It's got to be 1919.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
It is incorrect.
What? No way.
1923.
No way. I missed all of those.
Not a single question correct.
What year was Snow White made?
Let me look up real quick.
Yeah, because I could have sworn that Snow White was made in the early 20s. What was the correct answer to the question?
Snow White was made in 1937.
Oh, dang, I was way off.
14 years later.
Well,
Wow. I'm the
as
winner.
fortunate as it is, Aiden is the winner. And
30
your
seconds.
30 seconds begins now.
Wow. I don't even know what to say hardly, 30 seconds, say whatever I want. I only got a lot to say. All I know is Kane. I mean, this would be a rough start to your career as a trivia. I mean, he's literally beat me. I can count on one hand how many times he's beat me. So, I mean, that's pretty sad. Just after this, watch the Rockets game probably. Watch us suck it up real quick. I mean, I'm sure Kane's used to watching that with the Dallas Stars playing, and his Rangers, Texans. Seems like he's watching a lot of trash sports out here, so I'm glad he gets a break from those teams playing.
Man, thank goodness for that.
Had
Okay,
had a little
so
Kane trash segment.
we're going to move on from that.
Someone's a little salty.
We're
He
going to
didn't
move on from that
like
and
that
talk
trivia
about.
L, like the trivia L.
I'll be bouncing back for real.
He said that
Sorry
so many
to
times.
the people
Insert clip here. Insert
that
clip.
sorry to the people that I disappoint. I ain't inserting crap. Anyway, so now we are going to talk about a bit of a sports meme. LeBron James has been caught lying. Aiden, go ahead and explain this to the people.
So it's like a running joke in the NBA. Like LeBron, everyone knows LeBron, obviously, but he just like says things and like it's just like it doesn't make hardly any sense. Which that's not much context. But I'll give you like a starter. A starter was like the book meme. Every time he's in the book, he's always on the first page. Always on the first page, right? Then he claims that he was listening to Migos in 2010, whenever they weren't even out in 2010. He
Um,
claimed he knew Kobe was gonna drop 81 the night before Kobe dropped 81, and it's just wow.
so I'll insert the Migos one here.
I've been listening to those guys for so long. I was listening to those guys when my first year with the Heat in 2010. And you can ask any one of my teammates back then, they had no idea who the Migos was. They were like cursing me out when I would play it throughout the weight room or play it throughout the locker room. I was like, I'm telling you, these guys are next. I'm letting you know right now these days, like, turn this off. I don't want to hear this.
And then there's another one I want to insert. It's the soccer one where he's talking about Liverpool, and he just seems to have absolutely zero clue what he was talking about. Like it was apparently some guy from Liverpool. Well, here I'll let you guys listen to it. So here it is.
Yeah, Crouchy is actually a Liverpool legend. He used to play there. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I knew that. No, I knew that. I didn't get an opportunity to see him play when he was with the club, but I definitely knew. I definitely knew that.
The current captain, Jordan Henderson, just scored his first goal for England the other day. It was amazing to see. You a fan of his?
No, absolutely, and I saw a clip of that too. I didn't get an opportunity to actually see the game live, but I saw that he was able to score one in the match the other day, and I thought that was it's pretty unique, the fact that he would do that and then also be with Liverpool Football Club.
And so it was this guy from Liverpool that was interviewing him, and LeBron is like a minority owner of the soccer club Liverpool, and he just seemed to have absolutely zero clue who this guy is. But he's like, yeah, I know who that is. And then they asked him about a current player like scoring a goal for England or whatever, and he was like, well, you guys already heard it, but he was like, yeah, I mean, I just thought that was amazing when he scored a goal, and I didn't see it live, but I saw the clip. I was like, oh my gosh. And then there's one more I want to insert for you guys. Aiden, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's this one that I'm inserting here.
I had one coach, and he used to say, "Put yourself in situations where you're not comfortable.
Oh
Play
yeah,
outside
that's my
of your
favorite
comfort
saying.
zone."
That's my favorite saying.
And basically, what he says is he's on like a round table with this guy, and this guy's like, I had an old coach that said, something about like a pressure situation, and LeBron's like, oh yeah, that's my favorite saying.
Yeah, I heard that one too.
Like that is just so random. Like it just sounds like something you make up like when you're talking to your friends at school when you're just
Yeah.
chatting. And
Oh, we forgot about a major one. A major one was that he said, "I gotta learn how to flop." That one drove everyone crazy.
so yeah, it's just kind of a meme, and me and Aiden like we send each other TikToks of this like all the time. So we're like,
Yeah.
let's bring it to the podcast. So we are going to go a little deeper on this episode, but before we do that, a pretty big sporting event is coming up that we can't ignore: the World Cup. So Aiden, what are your very educated thoughts on the World Cup?
Well, I don't watch soccer like that. I mean, I don't really know any players on the Team USA. All I know is I'm going for USA, and when USA loses, I'm gonna go for Argentina just because Messi doesn't have one. So it's kind of gotta root for Messi because like greatest soccer player ever. He's humble. He's a good dude. Like I feel like everyone kind of wants Messi to win a World Cup. So yeah, that's all I got.
USA, USA. I remember 4 years ago when the World Cup was in Russia and they didn't make it. It sucked. I was like, dude, this sucks not having a team to pull for. And now I do.
Facts.
I mean, I watch a little bit and I know the players and stuff like that, but I have absolutely zero clue how far they're going to make it. I think they'll make it out of the group, but that's just Kane taking a very optimistic guess. But I'm going to be watching those games and cheer for them, and I'm excited for it. But my prediction to win, don't ask me because I have absolutely zero clue who's going to win.
Facts.
Obviously, the United States of America is going to take this one home.
Oof. Have they ever? I wouldn't put my life on it.
No, they've never done it. The best they've done was they got second in the very first ever World Cup.
What year was that? That's probably the same year Disney was made.
Probably the same year Disney was made. But hey, this year.
Facts.
Anyway, so now we're going to move on to our deeper segment. This is where it's going to get real. and we want to talk about what is faith. So, Ayden, this is a tough one, but I'm gonna just let you start. What is faith to you?
I'm gonna actually let you start, Kane. I want to hear what you have to say.
Start. Okay.
I'm a little
Yeah,
curious. I'm a little curious.
I was gonna say that I'll start if you want me to. So I think faith to me is trusting in something when you have not seen it, and you have. I don't want to say you have no real reason to believe it, but it's trusting in something or someone when you haven't seen them. You don't know. I guess I don't want to say that either, but like, you haven't seen something. You don't know 100% for a fact
Mm-hmm.
that you've seen it with your own two eyes. That's what I would say faith is to me. And now faith is not always faith in God. I think that whenever people think about faith, they think about faith in God. You can have faith in, someone to pull through for you. Like I have faith that whenever I get on this call with Ayden, that we're gonna put out a good episode. Why do I have faith in him doing that? Is because we've done it so many times, and I know what type of
Mm-hmm.
entertainer he is, and I know what type of entertainer I am, and when we put us together, I know what it does. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what
No,
faith.
I agree with that though, because just like faith in certain people, like some people, it's like you have some friends and you like question like, oh, if stuff really happens, are they really gonna be there? So if you say that, then you don't have faith in that person. But to be like, no matter what's gonna happen, like I'm gonna have this person, I'm gonna have this person always in my corner. That's really faith in somebody because I don't gotta like ever question certain people. You know what I'm saying?
And I think I want to say this too. Is this is something else I want to talk about? Like to me, like faith is hard. Like it is hard to have faith. It's not always easy, and I don't think you hear a lot of people say this. I don't think you hear a lot of like Christians say this, but like it's hard to have faith in God when you've never seen God. Obviously, we we are living in 2022, have never seen Jesus walk this earth. It's hard sometimes to have faith in that whenever you have not seen it. If
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense. I don't know, Aiden, if you can attest to that.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
But I mean, it's also hard to have faith in some people. Like it's very like to me, like very few people do I have faith in that I know they're gonna pull through. Because it's
Mm-hmm.
like, I mean, you think about it. You don't just walk. A lot of your friends that you talk to at school, you probably don't have faith in.
Mm-hmm.
Those people that you quote unquote call your friends, you probably don't have faith in those people.
Yeah.
And if there's anything else you would like to add on to that,
No, I mean it's kind of just as I mean, even though it's like a topic, it's like it's kind of when it comes down to it, it's kind of a simple kind of thing, where it really is just like believing in somebody that they're gonna do what's best for you or always gonna pull through for you, no matter the circumstances, and not have to worry about it.
it's hard. And I think it's something that it's earned in a sense. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Aiden always didn't have faith in me as to recording when we first started
I'm
recording.
starting to. I'm just starting to right now.
Nah, but when we first started recording, I'm sure me and Aiden didn't have a lot of faith in each other that we were gonna pull
Mm-hmm.
through. But now I know when we hop on, like I said, I know when I
That.
hop on this call that
Mm,
we're gonna have, I have faith that we're gonna pull through.
that kind of had me a little reminding thing. I want to in the future at some point. Me and Kane, we gotta react to our old episodes on here.
Got to.
Like we used to have these all released everywhere. As soon as we were coming back, we literally privated everything. Every recording got privated. And the thing is, our old episodes were doing. They weren't even doing bad either. They did pretty good. Like I mean, like number wise, they did good. But like as far as like how good they were bad, dude.
Yeah, they're
I'm over here sound like a squeaky toy. Kane's like monotone. It's just bad, dude. It's real bad.
and we
That built
some
up to where we're at now, though.
some of the things that we did were bad. But honestly, though, I don't regret any of it because it helped me get to where I am today.
Nah, facts, facts.
And like that's why we're so comfortable in front of a mic because we've been in front of a mic for years. Like whenever we hop on here to do this, we're super comfortable. Whenever we hopped on our first few episodes, we weren't probably comfortable.
Dude, they were rough, dude. They were rough.
Hopped on our first few episodes of this podcast, we probably weren't as comfortable as we are now
hmm
by any means. But now we're to the point where like, all right, let's go. Like we used to. I think a kind of joke between us is like we used to laugh all the time whenever
Dude,
we started
facts.
recording, and it was bad. Like it would take us like a million takes to finally get it because we would just laugh and laugh and laugh.
It was bad, dude.
And now we're like, are you ready? Yeah, ready and go. Like it's
I want to point out we actually did have a blooper today. Kane was laughing. I don't know what happened. He just laughed a little bit in the beginning.
yeah, but
But
you
dude, that's rare though. That's rare. Like it's rare. That's super rare for us.
yeah.
Because even before, it's like, okay, so like we first started going back on here. Like when we first started, it was a little weird. But we got adjusted pretty fast. But dude, when we started doing interviews and people get on here, they start laughing. We're like, what? Like it's like weird. because we're like, why are they laughing? And then we're kind of realize like, oh, that's exactly how we were the first time we were on here too.
And then we've kind of had to like think about that as like the people that we're having on this podcast, like they're not always as comfortable in front of a mic as we are.
Nah, facts,
So
facts.
like it's weird, but yeah. So next up, Ayden, you want to kind of tell them about the next topic we're going to be talking about? We had a pretty good conversation about this last night, but we kind of cut ourselves off, so I think we need to finish that here.
Yeah, so before I get into it, I want to mention one thing that me and Kane do all the time, which it happened last night. We're on the phone, we're talking like normal. We weren't even talking about the podcast. We were just talking about just things in general. And then we're mid conversation and we're just like, whoa, hold up, hold up, hold up. Stop talking, stop talking. Write that down in your notes. And we'll continue this conversation tomorrow on the episode. So that's exactly how we got to this topic. So this one was more about adults downplaying teenage emotions in life. And that may not really make sense. Maybe like, what does that mean? What it means is that like your parents are like, oh, they're just young, or like, oh, he's just a kid, or like, he hasn't really gone through much because he's only this years old, insert, years old and stuff like that. So it's kind of just like why do parents do that? And not just like, just like emotions, but like relationship wise too, like,
Yeah,
So
relationship wise is good because.
mhm.
Oh, were you gonna ask me a question?
Oh no, you're good. Because you good.
No, I was just gonna say relationship wise is good because I think something is like it's easy to look at someone and be like, oh, they went through a breakup, or like, and I think it's really easy for adults to be like, oh, typical high school breakup. But what what they don't realize is that like in my case, 100 and something days. In Ayden's case, is like 90 days in a row. We're talking to these people, and we build
Hmm.
a relationship with these people, and then all of a sudden they're just gone. And to adults, sometimes that can be like typical high school breakup, but to us, that's like that hits.
Yeah, and like we're not like saying like, oh, my parent did that. They did. My parents
No,
definitely didn't do that.
uh,
But it's just like this is like a common theme I've seen just like all kinds of places. It's like real life like people. This happens all the time, which is why people have hold grudges against their parents.
yeah,
But that's definitely a thing I've seen. Is just like, oh, you're just a kid. Like you haven't really gone through like brain develop. It's always your brain's gonna develop when you're. It's always well the brain develops more when you're 20. I'm like, oh okay. Well I guess I'll wait 4 years in. Like
and something that um, me and Aiden were talking about too last night is like we were thinking about like relatives that we see 5 times a year, you know,
mhm.
and comparing that to someone that we talk to for 120 days in a row. And
Yeah,
then all
facts.
you don't have that, right? And it's not to say that that person that we talked to for 120 days in a row was more important than that relative. But
Yeah, but it shows you that like people can take places really fast. Like people can take places in your mind, like in your heart, in your like life really fast. You know
I
what I'm
feel
saying?
like I feel like that's why it's so honestly like it's part of the reason that I feel like my standards are so high. Not even in relationships, but in friendships in general. Like if I want to build a relationship with you, I want that to be a good relationship that I'm not gonna lose in a sense.
Yeah,
Where
one that just like throw around, like
yeah,
waste a bunch of time together.
yeah, exactly. Because like with me and Aiden, like I'm gonna talk to Aiden instead of like okay, if we're on the phone at night and Aiden wants to call me and some person wants to call me that like some kid from school that it is what it is. I'm always gonna talk to Aiden because I know that relationship's gonna be there. Like this was part of our conversation too. Is I feel like a lot of people like even our family like don't realize how close we actually are.
Yeah.
Like we're close in age, obviously, only 1 year apart, but like
Hmm.
we know everything about each other literally. Like
No, and here's the thing, too. I'm not gonna go into what happened, but I literally read this dude's mind, bro. And that might sound like that sounds
yeah.
stupid. Someone said something, and I literally told Kane exactly what he was thinking, and we were just laughing because it was literally.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking
I,
too.
I, I literally told him like you said this. He's like, "Yup, how'd you know?" I'm like, "Boy,
We
like
literally know,
literally,
but like we're so close, and like that's not a bad
yeah,
thing. Obviously, it's a great thing, but
no, yeah."
but
It kind of thinks about like what would we do if we weren't doing this? Like,
I
we
don't
would
know.
not be doing. It'd be like, "Yo, trying to hop on 2K for the fifth time this week."
Yeah, for real. We like
Fortnite, 2K, Fortnite, 2K, and that your whole relationship
we would hang out together and we would just play video games.
and basketball.
Yeah, and basketball.
That
So
those are the pre Kane and Aiden
the
pod
pre
days.
fact.
We always had a project going on pretty much. I feel like,
We
but
I
like
we were always very creative. Like even when we were little, like I remember, us getting all of our cousins together, and we were like filming videos, like making skits, like always trying to create something. And I feel like that's something.
Dude, I wish I could get those skits back, dude. It'd be so funny.
But I feel like that's something our parents and our families have always kind of like told us about was like do something, make something, be creative, and like
Hmm.
I'm really glad that they pushed that on us because like who knows if we would be here if they didn't.
Hmm.
And
No,
so,
yeah.
oh no, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. No, I was
I
right
was
with
just
you.
gonna say like I kind of took that mentality to like myself. It's like all right, like I'm gonna be making something, and I hate to be like sound like an old head and be like oh instead of playing video games, but like do something, like create like me and Aiden are creating a
Hmm.
podcast, and part of the reason we got into this podcast was like do we have a lot of time for it? No, but just do it, and we don't bring that up to toot our own horns. I bring that up to say like go out and do something, like it's
Yeah,
struggle.
like we don't have the best schedule, but it's like we get it done every week, and it's not a hassle. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
that
it's
makes
I think a lot of times it's about building a routine. I feel like we already built it into our routine to the point now where it's just like it's just something that we do. You know?
Yeah, and I kind of want to tie it back to the original point. So why do you think we talked about adults downplaying teenage emotions in real life? Because obviously we didn't talk about this to call out adults.
No, no.
So why? That's my question to you.
Well, I don't know. How we got to the subject. I think a lot of time it's just like as far as like understanding type of way. Like I'm tired. Like people are like even like not just like adults, but just like even kid to kid. Like
Mm,
we don't understand that people what people are going through are real because we're told that we're younger. Like you know what I'm saying? So it's not even just like an adult thing. It's like kids also think that way too. So if that makes sense.
yeah, and it's easy to like look at. I remember when Aiden broke up with his girlfriend. At first, I was kind of like his like
Hard days, man. Hard days. Cold days, man.
I
I
was
feel
kind of
hurt right now. Bringing
I
back the pain right now.
I was kind of like, I mean, yeah, that really sucks. And like, I'm gonna be here for him, obviously. But at the same time, it was what was better for him. But even if it was what was better for him, it was still hard for him, and I didn't really realize that until I went through it. Even if that was what was better for me, it was still hard for me.
Yeah.
So now I feel like we're kind of on the same page. Honestly, though, I feel like with me and you in relationships, like we weren't always on the same. Like this time, I actually am talking about boyfriend girlfriend relationships. I feel like we
Yeah.
honestly really weren't on the same page till like the beginning of the school year.
No, it's funny because me and Kane joke around like about my situation. We laugh about it, and then before you know it, we're literally in identical situations. Like you know what I'm
We
saying?
we had pretty similar situations.
Yeah, we really did. We didn't realize it until one day we got on the phone. We're just talking, and I was like, "Bro, that reminds me of this." And we just going back and forth. We're just dying laughing. We could not handle it. It was
Yeah,
just too funny.
you're not
So I
wrong.
think I think that's one thing. Even when we go back to it, like even like maybe like it's not like a big deal for adults. It is for us. But even at the end of the day, at least we can always come back and laugh about it. You know what I'm saying? There's
Exactly.
nothing that I haven't like been able to laugh about that like recently that's been happening. You know?
Facts, facts. And I mean, it's not even just like boyfriend girlfriend relations for me. Like, there's been like, dude, a lot of honestly, the story of this school year, I won't even lie to you, has been like me trying to build relationships and not getting the same energy back. And you know what? It just does not
Mhm.
always work. And
Which is
it
funny because that
sucks.
was one of our first episodes we talked about was not getting the same energy back from somebody. That was like 2 months ago, probably, maybe longer.
Yeah.
But like, kind
It's
of
still
comes
true
back
though.
around.
It's still true for
Hmm.
me. Like, there's so many people that I'm like, dang, like I want to have a relationship with that person. Like, I want to build up a friendship with that person, and they're just not, not putting in the same effort. Like,
Yeah.
I ask that you match my energy at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm asking you how your day is, like I expect you to kind of ask me how my day is, or at least respond. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but sometimes friends just suck, man. I mean, there's sometimes like it just not working out. Like with my other friend, we kind of fell off a little bit. But I feel like for a while, I kind of thought it was my fault. And then kind of looking back on it, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I did some things wrong. But I always say hi every day. I always ask how they're doing, like all the above. Like you know what I'm saying? I always check in, but I never get that energy back. So
Yeah,
why
exactly.
should I even do that anymore?
At
But
that
one thing I
point,
want to bring back earlier about kind of like just like we talked about like getting started like back again was like we talk about potential, like like something to do. I feel like that's one thing is that like instead of worrying about like girls or like just relationships, how about you worry about like what potential you have, like you know what I'm saying, what you can actually do with that instead of just sitting around like ooh playing video games. I'm not trying to be like that. I play video games a lot. You could ask Kane, you guys, anybody I know. I play a lot of video games, but I still find a way to make it here every single week and record, upload, edit if I need to. Notes, we find it here every single week.
and I
So
mean,
you can do things around your potential. You know, it doesn't have to be one or the other.
yeah, it doesn't have to be like you're. I mean, you kind of do have to be 110% bought in, but it's not like it doesn't become your life. right? Like
Hmm.
nothing I've done over the past year. Trust me, I've done a lot, and that's not to like flex on me or like, oh, I'm so good. I'm not saying I've done good at it. I mean, which you guys can be the judge of that. But like, I've had a busy schedule, and I haven't had to give up the things that I still like to do. I haven't had to give up talking to Ayden. Like me and Ayden's relationship is still as
Hmm.
good as it's ever been. I didn't have to give up video games. I still play video games every once in a while. Probably
Tell
not.
him that MLB record. Tell him the MLB record.
Ooh, no, I don't think I can do that.
We
um,
gotta know. We gotta mention that. We didn't even talk about this. I didn't even know until last night. His little game he played.
Aiden, how about you go ahead and tell him if you want to tell him?
I don't really know. I don't know the full story. Like I do, but like I kind of forgot a little bit. So
I can't tell
basically,
that story, but I can tell my MLB The Show online record. So I play this game a lot. When I do play
mhm.
video games, it's MLB The Show. And this is not to brag on me, but since Aiden wants to bring it up, my online record is something along the lines of 100 something wins and like 40 something losses.
Yeah, I was like, every time I watch this dude play, he's always like winning, or he's always like it's always close. And always like he'll sometimes like passing the headset, and I'll talk mess to the guy while he's playing them, and like I'll act like I'm playing. It's
I
just
am
dumb.
good, dude, but I
We
would.
did that before. That reminds me whenever a dude was cussing us out, and our grandma walked in, and we're on the headset, and this dude's cussing me out, and my grandma walks in. She's like, don't talk to him like that. We were laughing so hard because we were smoking. This dude was not doing good. I'm pretty sure we dunked on him or no. I think that we were playing good, and then he got like one dunk on us, and this fool was talking the most mess ever, and he was down by 20, but he got one dunk, and he was just kept on talking. It was
I
bad.
remember that. But
It was
nah, so my MLB The Show online record is pretty good, but I've played that game literally since I was like probably 8 years old. Point being that you don't have to sacrifice all that. Going back to my
you
point,
still be MLB tryhard
you can
and
still be
record
an
a podcast and write articles every.
yes, you can still be an MLB tryhard and have a weekly podcast and edit and still do good in school and still write articles. So you can still do things while putting
Facts.
work on something,
You
and
can
that's
still, work at Chick-fil-A, barely get any sleep, play video games, and get somewhat decent grades and have a podcast.
so that's
Facts.
So that's point being is that you guys still put in work when you're doing something, and
Facts. Facts. Facts.
you don't have to compromise. So, um, as always, lots of good stuff coming at the Kane and Ayden pod. Ayden, what were your thoughts on this episode?
I mean, I thought, that's kind of funny. What if thoughts episode? No, I had a good time. Obviously, anytime I record, it's always a good time. But I'm definitely looking forward. Every time we record, it's like I can't help but look forward to what's coming up next. You know, always like we always say, big things coming up next. It's always something big coming up. It's
Oh,
always
yeah.
an interview. It's always somebody trying to get on here.
You
That
know,
reminds me.
oh no,
I
go
want to
ahead.
mention one thing. We got people asking us for interviews that we don't want to interview.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So okay, I'm like, okay, let me chill. I didn't mean like that. I'm just saying I was talking to somebody today, and they were like, "Let me get on there. I have a lot to talk about." I'm like, I mean, you're cool. Like me and you. How about me and you go talk about it? How
Yeah.
about
No,
we go somewhere and go talk about it?
we got a lot of good stuff coming. We got a lot of cool guests as always. Be on the lookout
Facts,
for our
facts.
next episode because that could be pretty cool.
Not
Um,
facts.
we're gonna kind of try to do something maybe a little different, but we're excited. And yeah, and going back to Aiden's point, I think like, look, um, a lot of people want to come on, and we don't have enough spots, so that's that.
The roster spots are filling out, man.
Roster spots are filling up. But anyways, y'all, that was episode 11 of the Kane and Aiden pod. Hope you enjoyed. Aiden, something I want to start doing is CJ and Ben kind of do this. So like, tell the people what you've been up to, where they can find you at on like socials and stuff.
You can find my Instagram, Aiden Church. You know,
Yeah.
Aiden Church, man. My
You guys,
government name. There you go. You got it right there, guys. Social security number. You want that next to? DOB. Look
you
me
guys
up.
can find me anywhere. Um, my weekly articles are up. Go on my link tree. You can find a link to my Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Kane and Aiden TikTok. We got to mention that. We're gonna actually
Oh
start.
yeah. We were
Go
supposed to start
follow
posting three episodes ago, but things
Go
got blocked up because we forgot about it.
Go follow us on TikTok at the Kane and Aiden Pod, same at as this, and we're gonna be posting clips from these interviews. I'm sure we're gonna be posting clips from the Pastor Max interview because there was a lot
Yeah,
of good stuff.
just clips, like, but even like exclusive bonus content on there, just like I don't really know, just videos we filmed together. Who knows? Maybe we're gonna
Facts.
start dancing, start a little dance team.
Oh,
Hit
Charlie
the
D'Amelio.
hit hit the park, start dancing a little bit over there.
So we've probably rambled on for long enough, but we like to talk. Anyways, episode 11 is in the books, and this is going to be the Kane.
Write it down in the book, man. Episode 11 right there. I see
in
it.
the books. This is the Kane
In the books, man. It's in there.
the Kane and Ayden pod. Signing off.
Signing off.